Hey YouTube, I am going to give you a tutorial on making bead buddies. Alright, bead buddies are little toys that you can play with. You can use them as twist ties. You can use them for a friend to talk to tell your secrets to, or whatever. But the nice thing is you kids at home can make them for yourselves. They're super easy. All you need is a piece of wire. In this case, the wire that I'm using, like, cut a strand that's about a foot, maybe a little bit over a foot, a little bit under a foot. It depends on how big your beads are and how big you want your figure to be ultimately when it's done. Okay, so put like 5 or 6 beads on it. This is going to be the head. That's the main thing. You just put them on, get it where they're in the middle. So take your 2 ends of your wire. After your beads are in the middle, then line your 2 ends up. Try to get them about right. Okay, and then you're going to want to stretch your wire down to get those little beads right at the end. And see how they make like a little hoop? That's the head that you want. And so twist it together to just solidify that head in there so you know it's not going anywhere. Okay, and then your next step is to find a bead that you want to be the neck. Okay, now this bead you're gonna put over both wires. Okay, so you want it to go on top of both wires, a bead that you want to be the neck. I'm trying to decide what do I want here. I'm gonna stick with green. I'll do green for my flesh tone, blue for my clothing on this character. Although, like, I think I'm actually gonna do its upper half all in green. Trying to decide if this is the right bead for the neck. Yeah, I think so. I'll just use one of these kind of square ones. So you put it over both strands of wire, okay? So this way you have circle with a little neck, okay? Now you want to take one of the strands of wire and add like 3 or 4 beads on there to make the start of the arm. The arm is a little bit more complicated, but you can do it. You can do it. I have faith in you. But let's separate. Okay, so separate these 2 wires. You need them separated again, because right now we're just gonna do each wire individually. I'm going to now also this little head is kind of stabilized, like as long as you're holding one of the wires, the beads aren't going anywhere. Okay, because so that's nice for people like me whose fingers don't always work. Okay, so now I'm putting, like, how many should we say? Like 3 or 4? Let's do 4. And so I put 3 on there first. And then I'm going to take the last one and I'm going to stick it. Okay, go ahead, put all 4 on. Okay, and then, but with the last one, you're going to take your wire back and loop it around the last button or the last bead. You're going to go over the outside of the last bead and back through the same hole that the other ones are looped to, or that you should have a wire, like, see how I'm going back through the arm, okay, because you want this one little bead to stay. That's going to be the hand, and these ones will be the arm. And so you want it to go, like, this wire needs to go through all 3. And I got 1 on there. 2, oh man, I think it fell off again. Okay, so once you get your little thing back through the holes. Like, I use my teeth. Now, I've got to say, I've chipped my teeth by trying to use them to pull wires. And so you should probably use, like, wire clippers or something. Needle nose pliers works really good. Any kind of plier really would work good for pulling the string through when it gets to the very end, because you're going to want something pretty tight, like something that can hold on to it pretty tight to get it through the last thing, because you want it to be really tight on that loop. You want it to pull your bead that is the hand. You want to tighten it up where it pulls it all the way back. Okay, so one more. Okay. Alright, so now I got them all on there. Find this little end. See, you got a little end sticking out. I'm going to use my teeth, even though I chip them all the time. But then you got to pull them like really tight, because you want it to tighten up not only that arm thing, but also, look, I'm running out of wire. I'm not going to have enough to do the legs, okay? So that's another reason why you want to pull it super, super tight. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this or not. I think I might have to, like, if it's too tight, if it's hard to pull it even tighter, you know, to straighten up that area between the neck and the shoulder, I guess, then you might have to lift your first bead up, the bead that's the hand. You might have to, like, get it up and then pull it down. Like, maybe I should have made 2 for the arms to make them a little bit shorter. But, it's okay. We'll figure it out. I'll make this work. Make it work. I'm trying to suck up this to shorten that distance between the, shoulder stuff. No, that's not going right. Okay. Oh, this is so difficult. It's not really. It's really easy once you get it. It's just, it's hard because my fingers don't always work, and then it's hard because just tightening it up, it can be kind of hard, but it's okay. You can get it. See, I got it where, whoops, now it is a head and an arm. Okay, so then you have to do the other arm. Let's see, head, one arm, and yeah, I think I have enough for the leg. I'm gonna have to kind of tuck it in kind of short, but it should be able to work. I'll make it work. I'll just make kind of shorter legs. But now it's time to do the other arm. So you're going to do the same process. Since you have 4 arms, 4 beads on the first arm, you're going to want 4 beads on the second arm, unless you want to make like a lopsided figure or something, which is cool because people have different kinds of arms and stuff. I'm still going to figure out eventually how to make one of these look like a guy in a wheelchair, or yeah, I guess it'll be a guy in a wheelchair, because another thing I'm still trying to figure out is how to make a girl. I want one with hair, and that is turning out easier said than done. But it's okay, I'll figure it out. I'm sure that I can do it. I only want to use 1 wire per piece of stuff. And even though, like, for the pets, I had to use several pieces of wire, okay? But or several pipe cleaners, you know, but it's a little bit different with them because the pets, I'm just using pipe cleaners and glue. That's all. Okay, one more bead, and then we have 2 arms. Then you want to do the same process where you go back through the 3 that make up the arm. You go around the outside of the hand, so the hand kind of locks the body in place, and then you go back through the beads of the arm, the other 3, and then pull it really tight. Okay, so back through 1. I don't know if that's going in the second one or the second bead or not. Sometimes it's like I'll think it's in there and then it's actually on the outside. There you go, man. Okay, so come on. Sometimes it's kind of tricky to get the wire back through the beads that you already used because they're beads and they have a small like openings, you know, and so sometimes that can be a challenge, but I think most beads can take a length. The kind of wire I'm using, it's a pretty small gauge wire, so depending on what beads you're using, depending on what wire you're using, think about that when you're getting supplies. Like if you're going to need more wire, you'll need more wire if you've got bigger beads. You'll need less wire if you have smaller beads, or if whatever I was going to say. Okay, so now I got this through. I can see the end. So I'm going to pull it tight, but before I pull it totally tight, I'm going to push the arm beads like as much down that little like body. I want the arm to get as close as possible to the rest of the body. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm pushing those beads back, and then I will then I'm taking the end where the hand is and I'm just kind of pulling it tight to keep those beads as close to the body as possible, and then I can cinch it up. Okay, so now we have 2 arms, person, 2 arms, okay? Hopefully you got the same thing going on. It's like a guy, well, his neck got a little bit messed up, but it's okay. Because now take both the arms and kind of twist them around each other, okay? Because you want them to be really secured. So twist them around, or twist the head, like I'm going to twist the head underneath one, across the body, and then over the other, because I can. Now be careful when you're twisting your wires though. You don't want to use up too much of the legs. You still want to have enough wire left to make 2 legs and 2 feet and have a little bit extra to tuck in. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. My arm has fell off, so it keeps. Okay, so the legs, you make them the same way as you made the arms, and then except maybe add a couple more beads, like depending on if you want it, how tall you want your guy, then that is how tall you want his beads. Oh, okay, wait, before you make the legs, you got to put one on both strings for the waist bead, like that's the pelvis or whatever, that's the front of the pants. You want that bead to go on both strands of wire. Okay, so after the arms are on, take both strands of wire and put one bead on both of them, and then do the legs just like you were doing the arms, because you can't. Okay, so this is on there, that's gonna be the front of the pants or whatever, And then just separate the wires again. After you get the waist thing on, then you get them separated, and then just put like 4 or 5 on one, 4 or 5 on the other, and then I'm gonna use, well, I'm trying to decide if I should use these kind of beads for the feet, like, or just a regular square. That's what I'm using for the rest of it. Might look better with just a normal, like an extra square. Okay, so 1, 2, and you can like just look at your thing and you can kind of estimate how, ooh, I got beads all over my floor. Oh well. Estimate how many beads you need to get the size of legs you want. If I didn't knock all of mine over, then I might put a few more. But, oh, I knocked another one off. I need at least 3 more, maybe, including the foot. But then that would only be 4 beads on here, but I'm running out of room with my wire, and so I'm not gonna, it's okay if its legs are only as long as its arms. You'll survive. But it would be nice. I would like its legs to be a little bit longer than the arm. And then okay, this was on my footrest, so found one of the ones I was looking for. Okay. Alright, see now we have a leg forming. Okay, so this is 4, and then if I put 1 more for a foot, then that would be a little bit longer than the hands, which is what I kind of am going for. So I'm just going to do 1 more. I'm trying to decide now which bead I want. I guess I'll do, yeah, might as well do the like seashell kind of looking one. Because I'm running out of the square blue ones. Maybe not though. I think I have some somewhere. But we'll just try this out. Okay, so then once you put the foot bead on, then take your wire around the outside again, and oh, see, that's the problem with this bead. I'm not going to be able to do it with that. I gotta find the square one because that one's too long. So we'll just do an extra square. So now I have a total of 6 square beads on the leg, and so I'm gonna take the wire, bend it around the, oh, I'm not even gonna use that one. I've got to use like a smaller bead even because I'm running out of wire. So I'll try using a circle bead. Still pretty good size, but maybe it'll be enough where I'll be able, because you want the wire to be able to tuck back in. You want it to go around the outside of this bead, go around the outside of the last bead, and then go back in and under and into the middle of number 4 bead. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be just barely big enough. I can get it, the end in the hole. Okay, I think I almost got it. And then you have to kind of like turn your bead, and that kind of forces the, well, no, it popped out of the hole again. There we go. Okay, so turn your bead as much as you can, and it forces the wire back into that spot. If you're pulling on the edge where the wire is coming out and then pushing in on the other end that's going into the other bead, That's what you kind of want. And then it kind of, if you can turn it, like turn the beads so that the wires, you know, is totally hidden, then that's even better. But that's the foot. Okay, so now we got 2 arms, 1 leg, and a foot. And then we just have to finish off the other leg. My phone is about to die, but like, I'll do this. Oh, if I can do it quickly. But it's kind of hard to do any kind of beading quickly. You know, you just gotta take your time, just get the beads on there. I don't remember if this is the shorter wire or not, but I don't know if that's going to be a problem. I know one of the wires earlier was more short than the other when I was twisting them together. So we have to see how many we can fit in here. Now this would be a great activity for like Girl Scouts, for I don't know, for anyone. I'm making some to sell at a craft fair, but really, like, I'm not a very good salesperson. I typically just tell people, oh, you can find that same thing at Walmart cheaper, you know, or whatever. But this is something that it is taking me a little bit of time. I'll have to watch this video to see exactly how much time this takes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I just need the final bead. And I got it. Oops. And then it'll be done. And the nice thing too, if you tuck your wires in good, especially, like, it's better to have a longer piece of wire, I guess, than a shorter piece. You want enough to be able to tuck it in really good so that when kids or whoever are playing with this thing, they don't get poked by stray wires sticking out. Some of my animals that I've been making the bead buddy best friend things, some of them have like kind of pokey areas, and so I don't know, that's a problem. Like I try to make it where everything is really smooth. It's not gonna hurt you when you play with it, you know, because nobody wants a surprise like that. Okay, and I think this is pretty much done. So I'm gonna stop this, and here's the little guy I just made. Bead buddy, your new best friend, new fidget spinner, whatever else you want to do with it. Bye.